What is going on, guys? Sean Don coming back at you with a video of me throwing the hammer. New PR, Olympic standard. Really happy about that. I was at Tucson Elite Classic last week, so it's been, 8 days since then. Been busy with some things, getting my life in order, getting ready for Europe. And finally got around to doing a technical analysis on this throw because also, I'm not too excited because it's not like a great looking throw in my opinion, which is the best kind of PR throw to have, I think, because it goes to show how much more is in the tank. So let's give it a watch. Give you guys some background. I've been throwing the 15-pound hammer in training. I only threw the 16-pound competition in meet, which might sound like a good idea, but in my opinion, at least for me, I get really tuned in to a certain rhythm of a ball when I throw it, and just I definitely struggled to really put stuff together with the 16 in competition. Physical state was there. I was feeling prime, feeling strong, feeling fast, feeling quick, all that stuff, but just couldn't dial in the technique, the rhythm, the timing. Day one, popped a big warm-up throw, kind of scared myself. I wouldn't say scared myself, but just got too excited, and then kind of fell apart early on in the comp and came back to set a 1 centimeter PB on my last throw, maybe. Could be wrong, I don't remember, but 77.21 on Thursday. Came back out on Saturday after a day of rest and a light lift. And same thing, felt pretty damn good. Technique was a little bit better, but still a lot of things that just wasn't clicking, that weren't clicking. I have good grammar. I went to school. But yeah, so for the 15th time, let's take a look at this video. Yeah, like I said, 77.59 Olympic, MF and standard. I'll withhold the vulgarities today. So yeah, big time throw. Really puts it all in perspective for me. I've done everything I possibly could to qualify for the Olympics next year, at least that I can at this point in time. So yeah, let's break it down. We got solid 120 FPS here, so it's gonna be nice and slow. So big thing for me on Thursday was I was not keeping my hands up in the winds, and I was letting the ball rise too much in the entry on the left side, and that is as kind of a result of like one of my favorite cues that I've found lately. The more I can relax and feel the ball stretch forwards in entry, and especially after the first catch, then usually 3 and 4 take care of themselves, and I drop bombs. And that's kind of what happened in the warm-ups. I felt that really good stretch forward after that first catch, and threw, pretty far in warm-ups. And so I was trying to chase that, and on Thursday couldn't do it again, but kind of got a little bit better on Saturday. So step-up winds. I'm letting the ball come relatively left in entry. There's a slight lean backwards in my shoulders. Hips, trying to keep them stable. As you can see, they're shifting over. But yeah, like I said, just a little bit too much extension through the upper back. That adds to instability just a little bit, and that's what happens when I take higher intensity throws. Generally, I tend to lean back, and that's not what I want. Hips are forwards, which is good, but I lean back, and I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather have my abs more engaged and my shoulders more forwards and my head more down. As you can see, I get a little bit wide here. Knees pretty forwards. But otherwise, you can see I'm engaged in that right leg to push myself back over to this left side to line up this left side axis. Right elbow kind of pulls down a little bit still, like I said, as I try to relax as the ball comes through here. I think about kind of throwing the ball forwards, like towards the camera almost. Not 2-0, but like in the general vector, if you will, of the camera. So like I said, right leg isn't turning much, but I'm definitely trying to use it. Like you said, or like you can see my left side axis, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, that shit's all lined up, which is great. But then you can see my head's leading just a little bit, and because of that, my left side leads just a little bit. It's so subtle. You can see this left side shift back just a little bit as the ball comes through zero. Stable for the most part, but yeah, just a little bit too active too early. Like that's the difference for me. Like if I can hold this left side right here and get the ball to right here, that makes all the difference in the world. Very subtle things when you're throwing 75 meters plus. Like I said, right leg's working. You can't really see a turn at all, but I'm definitely engaging like my right glute and my right quad and calf and foot and all that stuff. It's pressuring myself over there. And then I'm also waiting for the ball to pass. Like I said, there's still just like a little bit of shift back here. You see it in the hip. Very subtle, very subtle. Not quite stable enough in the hips. This is one thing I've been working on the past week in practice, and it feels much better now. You can see, like I said, left side leads a little bit, so right side, that right leg is still a little bit behind. It's playing catch up. Arms are nice and long though. You can see my head is kind of up and back a little bit. That's something that I'm not a fan of. The more up and back I get with the head, the more likely I am to pull the left shoulder away as the ball goes left. I'd rather keep my head neutral, keep my chin down a little bit more. But like I said, it's comp throws, comp intensity, things happen. I'm still working on it. Obviously, I'm not perfect. But ball goes around that left side pretty well. And you can also see there's just a slight lift in the hands right here. Also not a fan of that. I'd rather see the hands stay down and go flat around and feel the ball really stretch out and then forwards. But like I said, there's just a little bit of lifting. Just a little bit of rising even out of this left leg, just slightly as I enter single support. But you can see shoulder blades are about as damn long as they can get. Ball stretching towards the sector. Hip. Like I said, posture is not great. That's kind of because the hip shifted back. But right hip does go around the left. Right hip driving towards the high point. Getting a little bit wide. But level shoulders, level hips. Getting a little bit wide with that right leg though. But you can see, like I said, so this ball over the left side is rising. You can't see the ball right here, but you can see the high point is just about in this area. And I'd rather see that just a little bit more over here. Except the ball rises too much on the left side, a lot of things go wrong for me. It's very subtle, but it makes, once again, all the difference in the world when you're throwing this far and things are moving that fast. If things aren't perfectly lined up, then it's going to crash course. Course for disaster. I don't know, something like that. Right leg comes around, trying to get that right hip underneath me here. As you can see, I catch on one. Left shoulder is a little bit far over this right side. I was a little bit heavy. Like I said, that's what happens when the ball gets a little bit high on that left side in the entry. Like I said, it's going to be the main cause of a lot of things, in my opinion. Right hip is under me, just not as good as it could be. As you can see, I start to settle back over this left side. And then left heel comes down pretty early, for me at least. Left heel comes down right about there. Ball's coming through. Left side axis is relatively lined up, maybe a slight tilt, maybe 3 degrees or so, instead of being perfectly perpendicular to the ground. But you can see when that right foot comes down, I land on the ball of the foot, and yeah, it collapses a little bit. I'm working on my ankle stiffness. But then you can see that right foot turning with the ball, especially here. You can see this right foot really turning with the ball and just slightly ahead of it. Some would say this is dragging because the ball is not square to my shoulders, but there's a difference between pulling and dragging, and this is it. Pulling is necessary. You must create or keep some separation with the ball. If I let the ball actually get ahead of me, I'd lose connection. If you lose connection, everything goes to shit. But hips square, hips forward towards the ball, shoulders back. If I had a side view, you'd see that my shoulders are back just slightly behind my hips, maybe 4 or 5 inches or so. I'm leaning back. I'm doing what I call the pendulum. I'm using this right leg to push backwards, lean backwards, and like I said, I'm also trying to feel the ball stretch forward, so it kind of creates a counterbalance, if you will. I didn't quite feel it on this throw, but like I said, my big throws I had in warm-ups and fouls and stuff, I felt it, so I know it's the right thing to do. Just got to keep working it out until it's consistent every single throw. But like I said, lower body working together pretty well. Right leg turning into left leg. Left leg getting a little spiky, just a little bit too straight. Nice and long back against the ball, but you can see I'm kind of turning inside of the ball with this left side just a bit. But I'm really driving the ball out around this left side well, just turning inside of it and leading it just a hair. But for the most part, this is pretty solid stuff here. Hips forwards towards hands, right hip up towards the ball, driving towards the high point. Shoulders more or less level, hips a little tilted. Come down. Getting better, like I said, still a little bit heavy on the right side. All goes back to the entry. Left shoulder could be back more over this left hip. Right hip could be a little bit more forwards, but you can see this is what I'm talking about when I say like be more square to the ball. People like to step around and turn ahead of the ball to feel a separation and feel powerful, but that's definitely not the way to do it. As you can see, my hips are square to the ball, my knees are more square to the ball. And like I said, there's just a slight separation between the upper and lower body, not a large separation. More separation is not better. You just need some separation. But once again, I start to settle back over this left side. Right leg's really working the shit out of the ground here. When it comes down, you can see ball to foot, ankle stiffness getting better. Really turn and turn and turn and turn and turn and settles back over this left side. Much more stable left side axis here. Solid patience. Could be better though. You can see me really working that right leg. Left arm. Fun fact, my left arm is slightly longer than my right, so this more dramatic left side sort of pull, I think, is just something I have to kind of deal with. And yeah, I always try to work out of it, but I'm doing my best, and I'm kind of fighting an uphill battle with that. So at a certain point, I just relax and feel the hips and feel the legs working and relax the upper body, and whatever happens, happens. But once again, pretty square here, right over the right leg, right hip. Like I said, stable left side. It holds until ball gets to about 0. And then it starts to do its thing. Much better turn here. Hips forward towards hands again. Right hip driving up towards the ball. Left knee dropping down towards the ground. This is a much better single support in my opinion. Much tighter right leg. Slight tilt. But I think I like the way this looks compared to the previous turns. You see I really sneaked that right foot in there quick for an early catch on this third double support, which is huge. That's usually where, when I hit my big throws, that third turn is where all the difference is made, from what I've seen in the past. Very square, deep catch, shoulders square to the ball, lined up, left hip, left shoulder, left heel. Like I said, it could be back a little bit more over this left heel. That's a byproduct of not working the ball long enough in the previous turn. But yeah, solid catch on double support, or at the beginning of double support, whatever. Solid catch, regardless. Left side settles back, shoulder, hip, over the heel. Heel comes down, especially. You can see very stable here. This is what I'm looking for. Stable left side. Right leg's working the shit out of the ground. Once again, come down on the ball, the foot, little give. Still working on the tendon stiffness, but you can see it's really turning. Ball gets to 0. Slightly ahead of it with that left side. You can see left bicep coming across the chest. But for the most part, I like this. I like this stuff. You can see left leg a little bit slightly ahead. That's splitting hairs though. When your ball's moving at 60 miles an hour around you, you just kind of do what you got to do and hope it goes well. Not an excuse to have bad technique though. But left side, like I said, holds pretty well. Right side goes around it. But you can see, once again, just slightly turning inside of it. Instead of letting it really go around the left, I pull back just a bit. And once again, though, right hip really towards the hands. Up and into the ball. Right hip to high point. And you can see this right leg kind of peels off the ground a little bit because that left side is just a little bit overreactive. You can see, like I said, this toe pointed down towards the ground. That left side just doing a little bit too much. You can see it in the head too, turning just ahead a little bit. And so this right leg comes a little bit more around rather than up and over and in towards the ball. And so that's why I catch a little bit late. Like I think I would be able to catch like right here if I had a better right leg action in single support, and more importantly a better right leg action in the previous double support. But I catch, and I over-rotate just slightly. Just slightly, you can see, but I'm still really down into the legs, hips square to the ball, shoulders square to the ball, super long and relaxed arms. And then I come down, and you can see once again my left heel almost touches my left toe. I over-rotated just a little bit, and then from there I'm relaxing and working my hips and trying to stay down. But as you can see, I'm a dumbass and I stand up too much. But hips towards hands, that's the big thing. Once again, kind of stable left side. At this point, I felt myself kind of going down towards this right sector line, so I felt the need to pull that left side around to save the throw. But like you can see, very long shoulders, head back and away, long arms, relaxed, hips forward towards the hands. Ball comes up and out. And left side comes around because, like I said, I had to pull that left side around a little bit. My big problem, like I said, the whole weekend was ball rises too much on the entry in the left side, and because of that, ball gets too steep early on in the throw, and then if it gets too steep, I was losing direction in 3 and 4, and this is one of the throws that I was just like, damn it, I don't care, I'm going to will it out there, because I was feeling good, and I was like, I'm not coming out of this weekend without a better mark. And so yeah, so my biggest thing, and I should probably just pull up another video, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, my biggest thing was I was losing direction in 3 and 4. You can even see my right foot really peel off the ground in this turn. Left side's doing too much. Same thing. Right foot peels off the ground. No bueno. That's the only turn that I really like. This is nice. I like this. Right foot's working well. Boom. Decent. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. But yeah, like I said, I was losing direction in 3 and 4 in most of my other throws. And because of that, I would over-rotate and then have to disconnect and pull the left side more. And yeah, if I don't feel that pulse, if I don't feel the ball pull me towards the sector in each turn, it's really a struggle. And that's when I get much more left-sided and much more pulley/draggy. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. So overall, hopefully that helps you guys out. That's kind of my thought process behind what's going on here. Like I said, throwing a 15-pound hammer. Things just weren't totally tuned up. But next program, as I head off to Europe, I'll be throwing the 16. I'm going to dial timing, rhythm, forces, feelings, dial that all in, and see if I can't set another fat PR at some important meets over in Europe. So, yeah, it's definitely there. It's waiting. It's pending. But you know what they say. You know what I say. Hashtag on God's time. I'll throw far when I'm ready to throw far, when I need to throw far. You know, obviously 77, 78, 79, 80, it's on the way. Like I said, I'm just, the universe is holding it for a more important time. I have more to learn before I am ready to do so. Technique needs to get more stable. Physical state is pretty decent, just got to stay healthy, but technique definitely just needs to get more stable overall. And I'm working on it. Lots of hard throws over the past month or so, and just got to take a step back and take it easy and get the feelings right. Life lesson for you guys. Don't force it. Take a step back and learn how to do it right, and then learn how to walk before you can run. Otherwise, you're going to be running with really bad technique, and then, you know, it doesn't go far. So, yeah. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm here to help. I always want to give you guys more insight into what I'm working on and what my training is like and stuff like that. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Sean Don, peace and out.